joining us now is the great Julius Erving, Dr. J. Dr. J, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. How you guys been?
We're doing pretty good, man.
Doc, it's always great to talk to you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my pleasure. It's good to be back in Philly, and looking forward to a big weekend with the race.
Yeah, so Dr. J will be at Parks Racing on Sunday on Father's Day in Bensalem. The Philadelphia Stallions horse racing team will be there with the National Thoroughbred League. So there's horse racing all day. You don't have to pay for a ticket. You can just show up. There's stuff for the kids, music, games, all that kind of stuff. Dr. J, I'm curious. So you involved in horse racing after your athletic career. We know Jason Worth got very involved in horse racing as well. Keith Jones, who worked at WIP. What is it about horse racing that you think attracts athletes, after they're done playing?
Well, I'm a late entry. I went to the Kentucky Derby a bunch of times, a dozen times or more, and they've even let me start the race one year as a guest of Junior Bridgman, who's a Louisville guy. So, growing up in Long Island, there were a couple of racetracks in the vicinity, but I kind of followed NASCAR a little closer. And back in the 90s, I got involved with Joe Washington, and we actually had a car. So this is the first stint with, being a part owner of a team of horses, which are the Stallions. And last year we had the good fortune of, being the first place team at the end of the year. And although we're off to a slow start right now, I think there's huge upside. There's a lot of fun involved in it. It's a classy place to be. Everybody, it's not for everybody, but once you experience it, you're going to talk about it. You're going to tell your friends about it.
So that is Sunday at Parks Racing. Again, you don't have to buy a ticket. There's more info at ntl.racing. Sounds exciting, man. Speaking of exciting,
come on out. Come on out.
Yeah, come on out. And Dr. J will be there, of course. Speaking of exciting,
go ahead.
Speaking of exciting, we have an NBA Finals now that I don't think anybody saw coming. Are you surprised that the Pacers are up 2-1 rather on the Thunder? I think pretty much everybody is.
Well, the thing about it, when you're a good team and you're an underdog, if you can go into their building and get a split, that's a huge accomplishment. OKC probably, they had a better record, and it looks like they got more pieces. But long story short, who's going to play on any given night? Who's going to be the odd man who performed beyond what he's done before? Are the superstars going to show up and be superstars? And, there's a whole list of things that are associated with. That's why they got to play best of seven, because it's all about adjustment, adaptation, and, having a little luck on your side that particular night.
Doc, you've been in a position, you brought up superstar, right? You've been in that position where you were a superstar, you were the face of the league, you carried the league. There's been discussion around the league or about the league as far as the next face and the next face of the league. And, Anthony Edwards sort of hinted that he may not even really be interested in being the face of the league. I'm just interested in your thoughts on sort of where you see the game at right now and where the game is going. As somebody who carried the league for years, especially in the 70s, how do you feel about where the league is at right now and where it's going? Are you okay with it?
So, very much okay with the way the league's going, business-wise. It's a great business to be in. The unfortunate part that, gets my goat every now and then is the premature celebrations, and I guess that's just a generational thing because, when I came up and I was taught, man, you ain't bumping your chest or yelling to the audience, holding your hand up against your ear to hear their applause unless the game is over and you've won the game. if you, in the first quarter, the first 2 minutes of the game, you're trying to celebrate a good shot or a good play or whatever, you can't be on my team. So it's different with different generations. It is different. The game was probably more methodically approached, and the end result was the key. Now it's about, let's see if we can just put on a good show. And there's some teams in the league, they don't aspire to be champions. They just aspire to, try and fill the stadium, put on a good show that particular night. And if it's a good show, fine, they try to repeat it. If it's not a good show, they go back to the drawing board.
The great Julius Erving with us right now. Doc, the Sixers are in a pretty interesting position in that they hope to be a contending team next year if everybody's healthy, but they're also going to add most likely a rookie with a high pick. As young as these players are, how hard is it for a rookie, a 19-year-old rookie, to contribute to a contending team in the NBA? What does it take? What are the most important things that they can look for?
Well, I think, you just got to go back to Magic Johnson and his rookie year and what he was able to accomplish. And although he's one of one and probably the best point guard the league's ever seen, with Oscar Robertson being right on his heels, it can happen. And it does happen because, guys are maturing faster. The whole NIL situation, starting when they're 15, 16 years old, they're making money. So they're in the business side of basketball a whole lot earlier than we were. And because, in my generation, it was, 4 years of college. And if it wasn't for the ABA, it would have maintained 4 years of college before you get a chance to sign a pro contract. So the difference between 15 and 16, 17, and 22, 23, and 24 is huge. It's huge. And I think that, and the way the game is played, because, maybe it is a little less physical and there's more finesse associated with it, but, you got well-conditioned athletes who can run all day, and, now you got guys who can play to 40 or better or whatever. It's a long, hard journey, and it's different. And who's to say whether it's better or worse? I just think that it is what it is, and it has to be accepted for what it is. And the challenges of the NBA, the commissioner addresses it quite frequently. He's constantly saying, "Look, we're meeting, we're talking about these things, every other week, basically." And when somebody asked him a question, and the last time I saw him interviewed, every question that was asked, he said, "We've thought about this, or we've done something about this, or we have a committee selected, to study this." So you can't, there's no wool pulled over his eyes. He sees what's happening, and he wants to, have the greatest association of all the professional sports associations. And I would think that the NBA might be that. And the NBA is the leader, and the other sports associations follow what the NBA does.
So, Doc, we all love Joel Embiid, and we're hoping he has more years of healthy basketball. If he didn't, if God forbid he didn't, and his career were to end where it is, do you think Joel Embiid is a Hall of Fame player if his career were to end right now?
Well, almost every player who has been a most valuable player in the league is almost automatically a candidate for Hall of Fame induction. Now, there's a difference between first ballot and sometime down the line. Artis Gilmore, a great player, MVP in the ABA when he was a rookie. And, it was like a 10-year wait before he got into the Hall of Fame. And when he finished playing, he had great statistics. He was the all-time leading field goal percentage shooter. And, every franchise that he played for, they at least made the playoffs. And with the Colonels, they won the title in the ABA 75. So, Yeah, that MVP status is hard to take away. It's going to be recognized. He's going to be in the conversation, and I think he's probably given enough. It's unfortunate, his career sort of parallels Bill Walton's without this championship. Or Bill won the championship in Portland, and he was also backup center when they won the championship in Boston. But the number of games he played in, out of a possible 1,200, he probably played 800. And Joel is probably going to be in that same category of, playing 60, 65% of the games. And, some people take that personally, but it is what it is. Injuries are part of the game.
All right, Doc. Well, we really appreciate your time today. Again, Doc will be at Parks Racing on Sunday with the Philadelphia Stallions, the National Thoroughbred League. It'll be, I think, 12:30 to 5. No tickets you needed. You just show up. You bring the fam. The kids can come too, and you'll be there as well. So we really appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you very much, and tell those people it's Father's Day. So, wives and daughters and sons, bring your dad out. Give him a good time.
Yes.
Show him a good time.
It's his day. It's his day. What he wants, right?
It's our day.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Take care.